Hey, what's going on, everybody? Michael Daly back at you guys and girls with another episode of The Real 1%. We talk about all things military and leading up to our civilian life as well, because we all know there is life after the military, regardless if you do 3 years or 30. So, without further ado, we got an Air Force veteran, Anthony. He's from Sumter, South Carolina. He's living in the great state of Florida. You know, guys, if you're still living somewhere cold, I suggest you make it down here before there's not enough, before the houses are all gone, because they're building crazy down here and it's not getting any slower. He's a retired master sergeant with over 20 years of military service. He's been stationed all over the globe. He's been stationed in Japan for 8 years, Germany 3, Korea 1. It's probably why he's doing his entrepreneurial venture and travel. We'll get to that in just a second. He deployed to Kuwait and Thailand as tsunami relief. It must have been very interesting. He said he used to be a member of the Air Force powerlifting team. We'll have to see what his favorite lift was and his max lift at that. And he's lived over in Fort Walton Beach, as I said, and he's married with 3 adult-age children. So it must be feeling good to have an empty nest, I assume. He got 2 dogs, so I guess he's still staying busy. He's an avid traveler, still a gym head, and he likes to also dabble in the stock market, likes Vegas, likes, getting out and have a good time as well. Also likes to play video games. All right, not bad. And he is the owner and founder of Traveling Session, SESSION.com. It's a traveling website, and it's not Expedia or one of the main ones out there trying to sell you hotels or give you a discounted airplane ticket. What they actually do is they promote the most popular travel destinations, and they help specific travelers find the right places for them. I looked at the website before I got on. It has some pretty interesting places there in Nepal, Madagascar. So we'll get into that as well. And how they do the travel website is they start with reviews, and it's an alternative to generic travel reviews. It's a space where he created for all travelers in all different walks of life to share their honest experience, not just someone trying to give a 5-star review because they got a coupon to go to the hotel. So without further ado, my man, Anthony, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. How's it going?
Shoot, man, I can't complain. Most people don't care, and other people probably glad it's me, so I'm good. I'm doing good, man. What about you?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. Tired,
man. That old age creeping up. We just both said I almost was trying to go down for a nap, but he said he's ready to go down for a nap after this. So, once you get up there, guys, man, you'll be napping like your little kids were before. But, I wanted to start off and ask you, what made you want to join the Air Force, man?
My father was in the Air Force. That's probably the biggest thing. So that's it.
Did you
always my thing? So just ever since I was a kid, seeing him in his uniform and all that, I just knew that's what I was going to do.
Did you think you were going to do? Did your dad do like a full career out of it?
Oh yeah, it was actually guard, so okay. He did well over 30 years.
What about you? Did you think you were going to do? Did you think you were going to do a career, or did you just take it like contract by contract? What was your thoughts on it?
I just took it. Originally, I was just going to do the 4 years and out.
Okay.
I didn't get the original career field I wanted. I wanted IT, and I started off in radar maintenance. So then they gave me IT. So okay, well, I'll do another 4 years. Well, no, I was going to do 2 more years just to get IT experience and then out.
Then what happened?
Then they gave me orders to Japan. Well, can't turn down orders to Japan, so add another 4 years on top of that. Then after he hit 10, may as well go ahead and ride it out.
How was Japan for you? Where were you stationed, on the main island or offshore?
I did 4 years in Okinawa and then 4 years up in Misawa.
How'd you like it over there?
Oh, I love Japan.
What was your favorite parts?
I'm always going to have a favorite. Okinawa is always going to be probably one of my favorites. Always going to have a close spot to my heart because that was like the first place I lived overseas. So anytime you ask about a favorite, Okinawa is probably going to be up there, close 1 or 2.
Okay. How did you end up getting over to Germany then? Did you do like where you had 10 years and then came up for reenlistment again, got orders for Germany and just kept rolling overseas like that? Or how'd that go?
Yeah, once you're overseas, it's easy to stay overseas. The hard part is just getting overseas. So once you get that first one overseas, because it's cheaper for the military to move you from an overseas assignment to an overseas assignment than it is to move somebody from the States to an overseas assignment.
Right.
So that's the trick. So once you get overseas, you just stay overseas.
That's true. Most people probably want to just do a couple years, and if they don't really love it, they probably would say, "I got to get back to the States." Right. But for you, you're like, "Nah, dude, I'm liking this." Hey, where'd you go to Germany? I was in Germany, but I was in Vilseck, dude. You probably somewhere next like Ramstein or something like that.
I was over there in Spangdahlem, closer to
Okay.
the Belgian border.
Okay.
I
How'd
did
you like that?
It's slow, but it was nice. I like living like in the little villages, lots of green, lots of nature, but it was pretty slow out there.
Well, yeah, you even like probably going to Tokyo with millions of people, and then you go to the village over there. But did you ever make your way down to Oktoberfest, or like
Oh
start
yeah.
going to all those countries, go to Ryanair and start getting that passport stamped up?
Oh yeah. That's where I really started. I traveled some in Japan, but when I got to Europe, that's when I really started traveling because it's just so easy.
Oh yeah, and cheap, right? You got on the train or Ryanair, and you're in Belgium in maybe a couple hours, or you're in Italy for $50. It was like that for you over there.
Oh, I've seriously taken my whole family on a flight and paid more for parking than I did for all the flight tickets. It's
That's
ridiculous.
that's how it goes. What was your favorite spot in Europe after you were over there? Anything stick out to you? Did you like it all the same?
Europe is Malta. Malta has been my favorite.
Why so?
Malta, Malta and Okinawa are like, depending on the day you ask me, those are my two favorite spots so
Why'd you
far.
like Malta so much?
I don't know. It's just, well, one, I like islands. I got to be near the water. And that was like, it wasn't super crowded. The people were cool. It just had a cool little vibe to it. It wasn't
Okay.
super expensive.
You go to Popeye Village. That's in Malta, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to Malta, and then everyone thought it was like kind of a joke, but it seemed kind of cool. We went on like a Euro trip after we got back from Afghanistan, and it was Barcelona. It was London, Barcelona, Ibiza, Rome, Mallorca. But we were going to go to Malta is what it's called. Malta. And
Yeah.
we didn't end up going. But I've seen a couple people on Facebook go, and it looked pretty cool. And you're vouching for it now, so seems like it's got an old, a good, nice culture. Like you said, it's by the water. Probably got great food and just a great
Oh, yeah.
history behind it.
Yeah. The food is always one of my top things I'm looking for when I go someplace.
Oh yeah, you seafood lover or not really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can't beat it. You can't beat over there, dude. You know
That's
how
why
it
I live
goes,
in Florida, man.
dude. I mean, yeah, they got pretty good. We got pretty good seafood down here. It just depends on what you like. You have lobster's not as good as New England, and scallops and stuff like that. But they get it all down here, and as long as it's not red tide, you're right. We got some pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but South Florida, y'all don't have that. Y'all don't fry everything. I'm from the
That's
South,
good.
man.
That's a good thing, dude. That's a good thing, man. I get South Carolina, you frying everything, right? What you
Yes,
got?
sir.
That's a
But
great
now,
American. That's a great American cooking, man. What So you're at like what after Germany? You're probably around like I don't know 12, 15 years in. When did you start devising the plan about getting out? Did you said all right, heck with it. I'm gonna do the whole career thing. Did you start thinking about hey, this is what I'm gonna do after the military, or you kind of just wrote it out without a plan?
no, I sort of had a plan. So I think I was in Korea when I actually got the domain for the website, and I just sat on it for a couple of years. Like the website itself is like a unique concept, so there isn't anything out there like it. So I didn't have anything to really go off of. So a lot of it was just me sitting back thinking about how I wanted to do it, and then once I figured out kind of sort of what I wanted, I had to figure out what I actually could do, what I could afford to do, and all that. So it was there was a journey there.
What were some of the main pressure points that you came in contact with? Going through that thought process of because were you doing it all by yourself? Did you have some mentors helping you? Were you bouncing the idea off some of your colleagues at work, or was it kind of like a all by yourself type of deal?
No, it was most of it's been by myself. I mean, that's the tricky part. When you start a business, frustrating because no one can see your vision.
That's fair.
And then I realized nobody's going to see your vision. Nobody can see your vision because that vision is just for you.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing people are going to be able to see is a plan.
Right.
The difference between a plan and a vision is specifics. So I had to get to where I get to those specifics first before I could actually bring anybody else in. So those first few years were lonely, bro. So just sitting there trying to figure out. So initially I was trying to look at like the existing software that was already out there. That didn't work. Then I tried to code it myself. And I realized I hate coding. So then I had to go through the process of trying to hire developers to work on it. And you find some, they could do this part, and then they get to a point where they're stuck, and it's like, okay, now I got to fire you. And then I finally got to a point where I found a developer I liked, and then I just tore everything down and had him rebuild everything.
What were you using, like Fiverr and stuff like that, to try to find people to help you, like freelance and stuff like that? Or were you actually meeting people in person and doing it that route?
Upwork.
Okay, Upwork. Okay. So you were still, go ahead.
I think Fiverr was, I used a couple of gig networks, but I can't remember exactly why I ended up settling with Upwork.
Was it frustrating pretty much like telling someone your vision over and over? And then like, I haven't really used it a lot, but I feel like that would be a pinch point for a lot of people of just starting over and every time just, typing out your whole vision or, just starting fresh. Did you have a frustration doing that?
Well, I think that's where I came up with that premonition about no one being able to see your vision. Okay. Because when you hire a developer like that, especially when you're talking about like where you can't just say, I want you to make a copy of this. You have to be very specific in those details of what you want.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And like you said, they're not going to see every detail that you have unless you spell it out to them. And then they might not even be able to take heed to it because you might be thinking, it's just hard to explain stuff, even if you just typed everything out, dude. I mean, even just to get an intro done or like an outro, you got to be so specific. And that's something for 45 seconds. You're talking about coding out a whole network. So I could imagine the frustration. You were still in the Air Force when you were doing this part, or no?
No, so I retired and I still wasn't fully sure exactly what I wanted the site to be. So I took a job. I did that for about a year. And after a year, I left that job and then I started working on the site just full time.
Okay. All right. I want to rewind a little bit before we keep going this part and ask you a couple of questions about transition. The first thing I would want to ask you is where did you get out of the Air Force from? Was it overseas or was it CONUS? And also, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And also, do you think you had a good process of getting out? Did you have a good experience of leaving the Air Force?
I had a good experience. I retired out of Eglin Air Force Base.
Okay.
But for me though, I had a bunch of friends that retired before me, and I just watched them and figured out and learned from everything that they went through.
What'd you learn? What were some of the things that you learned?
One of the biggest ones was doing my resume. That was probably the biggest one. Because we make it seem so hard. Really, just take all your evals and you just turn them into normal people speak.
Yeah, a lot of people have trouble with that. Even if you have that military jargon in there, even now they have software and stuff like that you can go to and it will actually translate your stuff into civilian lingo, right? And a lot of people, I guess, were getting hung up on that. Hopefully, it's not such a big deal now. But what about just getting out? You did so many years in the military. Did you file for disability? Was that something that was on the table from your friends?
Yeah.
Say, hey man, hey Anthony, get this, bro. You gotta go to the VA. I mean, like, what that look like? Someone like me, I did 8 years, and to be honest with you, brother, I got 0%, man. I had broken foot, I had mental health, I had everything on my record, but I was so ready to go. And I don't blame anyone but myself, but I got out with 0 and learned the hard way. And that's another reason why I like to talk about this, because I don't think it should be a secret, because it's all there for us. We're not telling anyone to lie. We're not telling anyone to cheat, steal. If you get hurt in the military, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, you need to document it and you need to be compensated accordingly. But that's something that I really paid the price on, dude. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
So I was already I was already broken up while I was in the Air Force. Like I herniated 3 discs in my back, and I tore a quad. My shoulders are shot. So I knew I was already prepared for this part. Well, I thought I was. So when I went through, they've gotten better. Like they actually have someone that actually does your claim and inputs your claim. That's part of your out processing. At least it should be all the branches, but I know specifically it is in the Air Force.
Okay.
The only thing I would caution people about that is normally that person that they have is that one person. I think like the lady that was doing it for me, she was doing it for 3 bases, the 3 bases for all the different services around Eglin. So they don't really have time to go through your records and spell out the stuff like you really needed to. So I think when I first got out, my initial thing was 70%. But I should have been at 100. But if I had known what I know now, I wouldn't have had those issues. And if I had someone that could actually go through and actually talk to me about the different conditions. And one thing you spoke on, the mental health, that's one I tell anybody, don't self-diagnose on that one. That was when I did not come out of the military as unscathed as I thought. So
yeah, no, you're right, dude. You gotta kind of like swallow your pride. It's nothing to be ashamed of at the end of the day, dude. In the military, you're gonna see things, do things that a normal civilian might never see, they might never understand. And that's why it's there. It's not to say that you're crippled for life and you can't do anything. You could be 100% permanent and total, have a job, make unlimited income. There's plenty of people doing it. You got nothing to be ashamed of, you know what I mean? But what did sick call and stuff like that look like for you in the Air Force as a senior enlisted NCO and stuff like that? Were you being, was it the message when you were going up in the ranks, like, hey, if you hurt yourself, you just make sure you go to the clinic and get that documented? Or was it like most of the other services, like, oh no, you're weak if you go to sick call, you don't want to go there? What was the outlook when you were coming up through the ranks?
Well, so I was a little bit unique. I'm probably different from most folks in the fact that I had to hide a lot of my injuries while I was in. Well, as best I could, because they wanted to med board me on more than one occasion. So
you wanted to keep going, and you would have really pretty much said, hey, this is what's going on. I got all these lumbar strain or herniated discs. Yeah, more than likely, you shouldn't have been road marching. You shouldn't be over here doing this. You're not really agreeing on your med pros. Let's go ahead and do the med board. I feel you on that. You probably loved it. You want to support your family. You got kids growing up, and it's a decent career as long as you're not going to war every other year. So I respect that. But for someone that's trying to do the same thing, if you look back on it, would you try to take a med board? Would you start not put your body through that, or do you think you did the right thing for yourself and your family? There's no really right or wrong answer to it.
I'd like to say I would have gone ahead and taken the med board. I probably wouldn't have, though. Right?
Okay.
Even if you roll it back to me again, I probably wouldn't. I'm stubborn. Like I said, I got 3 herniated discs. I still go to the gym. I still went to the gym this morning.
There you go. Hey, PT's free, man. But what kept you going though? What kept you going when you got that 70? Did you say to yourself, "Nah, man, this is not right. I should probably be more"? respectfully, you probably should have, because you've done all those years and had that wear and tear on your body. Was it someone that you knew? Was it a little bit of both? Was it your family? What got you consistent on going to the VA and making sure you follow through with your claims?
Because they owed me. It's not like I'm asking them for a handout and they said no.
Right.
You broke me. You're going to pay me for it.
Right.
It irritates me to no end when I hear veterans like, oh, no, I don't need anything. No, they owe you. This is part of your compensation. This is what you work for. It was in the contract. This is what they're supposed to give you. You need to go get it.
No, that's true. I mean, they're going to try to hit you up if you get a sunburn for destruction of government property. At the end of the day, you know, all that crazy stuff they could come up with when you're in the ranks. But if they break you down and you put your life on the line, your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul, everything on the line for them, you're absolutely right, man. You should be compensated. A lot of people think, hey, no, I don't really need it. I'm taking away like that one, or I'm taking away from somebody else. No, you're not taking away from no one. You see, government just keeps printing money, 100 trillion aid here, this there. So you're not really taking away from anyone except your family and yourself at the end of the day. Would you agree?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
How long did it take you to get that next 30? Because we know if anyone knows the VA, it doesn't matter if you had a 70% rating and say, oh, I got a 30% for my GERD or something like that. The math doesn't work like that. So I'm sure, I don't know if it was difficult for you to, but how long did you have to persist on doing that until you got what you deserved?
Man, it took me some years. And that's another thing I tell folks. If you've got a bad VSO, just find another one.
Absolutely, dude. There's so many of them out there, man. There's so many of them out there.
And so, and I won't say which one it was, but the one I was working with forever, like they just kept, like I knew the things they were telling me weren't right.
Okay.
And then at some point, it was weird because everything happened like real fast, like within like 3 days. So like at some point, well, no, first I ended up calling that White House VA hotline.
Okay.
And all the questions I had been asking for like 4 years, that in like an hour, that lady just cleared it up like that. Just cleared it up, everything. She told me exactly what to file, exactly what to put. And then I think, and at some point, just from calling the VA and yelling at them over the years, I ended up on like this random Florida hotline that calls like once a month. And it's a bunch of people on there and they're just telling their VA problems. And they're actually talking directly to like one of the heads of the VA. So I'm on one of those calls and they let me leave a message because I didn't want to talk on the live hotline. And the lady called me back that Friday and she just basically reiterated the exact same things the lady from the White House hotline told me. Submitted all that just like they said. Boom, just like that. 100%. It's tricky. You gotta, and it shouldn't be this way, but you have to tell them things in a certain way or they're just not going to give it to you.
Oh, absolutely right, dude. They have a guideline. They got the CFR 38 they go by, and everything's in black and white. It's no secret. You can Google it and find it on the VA.gov. And you're right. You can't go in there on your high horse and say, because it's all documented, man. You go in there and say, hey, Anthony, how you doing? Oh, man, I'm great. Hey, you touch your we're gonna go ahead and touch your toes. And oh yeah, man, I do that, no problem. And then when you leave, you're saying you're in aches and pain, but you should have been being honest with the aches and pains in front of that person, because they're going to write up some notes and they're going to send off to somebody else that never even met you, and that's how they're going to make this decision. So, it's like playing the game, right? It's not going in their line or anything like that, but you got to tell them how it is on your worst day, not your best day. You go in there, tell them on your best day, you're going to be going right back over there, or you're going to say, damn, I got a 0%. You know what I mean? Is that
even that you need to educate yourself, because like that was one of the problems I had. Like I said, I've got this herniated disc. Of course, I've got pinched nerves in there. So I've got the shooting pains. So I'm going there, I'm complaining about my back and I'm telling them my back hurt. I'm telling them about the shooting pains, but I didn't file for the shooting pains.
So that's something totally different. You didn't even have that on file, so you had to go back and do a whole nother round, tell them the same thing, but have the articulate words in there to say, hey, yeah, I'm doing for the shooting pain and for the nerve damage and for this and for that. Because one injury, like you said, you can have your back for probably, I know for my foot, let me just speak on mine because I know, like my foot, I have residuals of fracture. They measured it. They have this, and they have, like, you know, the bone spur itself and my broken foot. All that was 10, 10, and 10. It wasn't the same thing. Probably something similar for your back, right?
Yeah. But if you don't claim those all, and it's frustrating because if you know that's what a person has, just go ahead and give them the claim for it. Don't, especially when you didn't tell them that, hey, you need to put in a claim separate for these.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. What was when you got that 100%, what was your first feeling?
A little bit peeved because I still had to go back for back pay.
Oh, damn.
We didn't get the dates right.
That's always fun. But okay, what about when you get the back pay off? What did you feel? Did you feel some relief?
Yeah, it was. Well, actually, it was a lot of relief. Cool, because my website, because I'm funding it all myself, I'm bootstrapping, so that was a nice little chunk that I could pay my developer to do some work, which actually got me pretty far ahead.
That's good. That's real good, dude. I mean, and just hey, then you gotta make sure you got your dependents on there. You know, you got your kids, you got your wife. Because my buddy didn't have his kids on his thing, and he was getting paid. Man, I said, dude, you don't even have your dependents on there. You know, and as years go on, that's $1,000, dude.
Yeah,
to leave on it.
I said get a good, if you're VSO, because when you first get out, I mean, especially like when you're dealing with your first one, you don't really know, like, but as soon as you start to feel like they're not telling you everything that you need to know, just find another one. There's so many of them out there.
Good, great advice, really, dude. You're right. You go to any of go to American Legion, you go to Wounded Warrior, you go to the smaller veteran things, you can go to the county, you can go to the state, you can go here and there, like you said, and take the pick of the litters there, dude.
That's another thing they don't tell people. I didn't know every state has their own Department of Veteran Affairs.
Yeah,
and they're VSOs themselves, and I can't speak for every state, but Florida's are pretty freaking good.
Oh no, Florida don't play, dude. You go to like Bay Pines and like St. Pete is like one of the regional headquarters for like I think the area over there, and they have them all in there. They have like Disabled Veterans of America. They're all in the same place that you're going to get seen. So you might go out and have questions. You're already up there. Hey, let me go run it by this guy. Or let me go sit down. They're free. It's free. You don't have to pay for a VSO. Now, a lot of people say you shouldn't pay for help and don't get a lawyer and don't do this and do that. But, you know, to each his own, because at the end of the day, if someone's going to help you that you haven't got help from someone else, and, you know, you have to pay a little bit of money or something like that. I mean, I would say it's worth it. Not everyone might not agree with that opinion. But at the same time, like for instance, let's use this for an example. I got a sleep study from the VA when I was out of the military. Now, we know good and well that the VA is not going to give you a nexus letter saying that it's from a condition from the military when you're out, because that's writing a blank check, okay? So in order to get a nexus letter, unless you know someone personally that's just going to write it for free, you're going to have to pay. But what's $500 for increase from 80 to 100 for money for the rest of your life? You know what I mean? It's just like a tit for tat type of deal. You know?
But that's the problem, though, because it shouldn't be that way. Like you basically you set veterans up for predators to basically get what they've already earned.
I know, but it's unfortunately that's not how it is. It would be a lot easier, and people I think would have a lot more faith in the VA and in the system per se if they said, all right, you know, they're doing the right thing. Because a lot of people just take the VA for something that's bad, and I don't think it is, because there's a lot of good people in there. But it's like any organization, dude. You probably have great leaders, you probably have some bad leaders. Everywhere is like that. The VA is no different, but it's up to us to educate ourselves, seek help, seek the guidance. You know, you got around people that were getting out, and you probably could bounce your question off people and say, hey, I'm going through this. All right, yeah, keep it going, you know, do this. And then once you figured it out for yourself and your family, you're probably telling your friends and people you serve with, all right, well, make sure you do this. We'll do this. You know, don't give up. That's what it's all about, really. It's you gotta use it to your advantage, dude. It could go one or two ways. Like you said, If it doesn't work, ask for somebody else. Go somewhere else. Ask for another provider. There's always if there's a will, there's a way, right? So, I mean, you found it. It's not easy, but it was worth the travel, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, it took a while, but just don't waste your time with it. If it don't feel right, just move on. Like you said, you got so many different options.
What was your favorite lift, man? Let's talk about powerlifting for a few minutes real quick when we transition to something else. What'd you like lifting the most? Deadlift, squats, bench? What'd you like?
Deadlifts.
What's your max? What's your PR?
In competition, 502, 515 in the gym. So the weight classes, when I first started, the weight class was my weight class was 165. And I had the military. I briefly had the military record for deadlifts.
You doing 500 this morning, right?
Briefly. Oh no. Those days are. Oh no. Those days are well past me. Every once in a while, I get that itch, and I'm like, no. You want to walk out straight, dude. You don't want to walk out wheeled out in a chair with bent over. But nah, man. I miss the gym. Did you feel like you got the best workouts when you were deployed because we had so much more time? You weren't commuting back and forth to home, and you got the gym right there, or was it kind of like you were always in the mix no matter where you were? No, I'm in the gym. Man, I was in the gym wherever, dude. Even when I had one job where we're just TDY all the time. I was on an inspection team. Half of my luggage would be my supplements and my weight belt and all my gear.
You look like a professional bodybuilder traveling, man. Like, what you got going? Got 15. I got talk about it. I got whey protein. You gotta stay prepared. You used to use bodybuilding.com back in the day?
I used to use some of everything. I used to get knowledge from wherever I could.
What about I'm curious about the tsunami relief, Thailand. How was that?
That was cool. That was like probably one of the most rewarding experiences. I mean, it sucked because a lot of people died, but that was the one thing. That was the one where they were happy we were there. Like most time, like I don't know, it's just like they were just genuinely happy that we were there and helping them. And I don't know. I just always took something back with me with that from that.
It didn't really feel like you were being invasive, essentially, like Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait. People probably pissed that we're there, and now we're gone. You're actually genuinely going there to help, aid, probably give out food, shelter, and everything in between. That's kind of I couldn't imagine. Did you leave to go from Japan over there to do that? They tasked you out from that.
Yeah, that one was and that one was quick too. That was so the tsunami happened the day, the 26th, the day after Christmas Day. We had some guys that were there the 27th.
Damn, yeah, ready to go.
So actually, I wasn't even on the deployment team. I wasn't even really supposed to go. I can't remember what happened with that, but my supervisor calls me on New Year's Eve. I'm like, must be nice. He must be calling everybody in the shop to say Happy New Year's. I'm like, nope, pack your shit. You're going.
Damn. And then he said Happy New Year after that. Hey, we'll see you in the morning. Happy New Year. You're like, damn, man, I'm trying to party out here, dude. Man, at least you did right, though. How long did you have to go for?
I think we're only there for like a month.
Okay.
But that was, they said, we don't know where you're going. We don't know when you're coming back. We'll cut your orders when we get there. It was one of those deals.
Just shut up and pack your bags and get on this plane, pretty much. What'd you take, C-17 or C-130?
C-17 there, C-130 back.
Okay. So when you guys go and do something like that, I don't know if there's any military bases in Thailand. Maybe they have something. Did you guys have to pretty much stand something up from the ground up, like in a certain area, or how's that go?
Yeah, we had to stand up everything. So we were on a Thai base, but I mean, we had to set up our own networks, and all our own satcoms and everything to reach back, and all our computers on secure networks and everything.
How was that? What was the biggest struggle?
It wasn't.
It was a struggle. Too easy?
Yeah. I'll be honest, because my job was setting up all the secure networks. I was done like day 2. I was walking around helping everybody else out after that.
Not bad. What are you working on as far as your travel website and stuff like that now? Where do you see it going? What stage is it in now? How can people kind of get on there and check out what you got going on? And just talk a little bit about that if you don't mind.
All right. You already talked about what? How much did I talk about the site already?
Just you told me you spent a lot of money getting it developed and the troubles that you're going through. You started devising it when you're in the military and stuff. And I mean, kind of just give us a whole rundown, man.
Okay. So, yeah. So it's a travel website, but it's not your typical travel website. Like I said, we don't sell any packages. I'm not a travel agent. It's not about promoting the most popular travel places. It's about matching people with the places that are right for them. So we focus everything around travel reviews. Like if you're a big nightlife guy and I'm someone that's in the bed at 8 o'clock every night, your view of a city is going to be completely different of my view of a city. So if I'm looking for travel recommendation from you isn't really going to do me a whole lot of good.
That's true.
So I want to find people that travel the same way I do, just like you would want to find people that travel the same way you do. So that's kind of what we're trying to do with the site. So when I put a destination up, it's not just me talking about that location. Anybody can come in and write a travel review on that site, on that destination. And then we've got a 5-star rating system across 5 different categories. And what we'll do is we'll take all those scores from everybody that's been there, and we'll give you your own personal score based off of what's important to you in a travel destination.
Okay. What are some of the top destinations people have been reviewing on? What sticks out to you the most on your site?
Right now, that's kind of hard to say because I don't really have we aren't getting the traffic to get the numbers that I feel comfortable with.
Okay. How do you think you can drive more traffic to your site? Is it more or less paying for ads? Who is your ideal customer? Are you looking just to target veterans, or are you looking to target the whole general public that likes to travel to destinations? That way you can get more data and build up your analytics and stuff like that. What do you see for your company and your website?
Correct. It's more it's like a worldwide. So I wanted to make this like a all-inclusive sort of community where everybody can find information about places that's relevant to them. So like if you've got disabilities, you're going to be looking at Venice, Italy different than somebody that's able-bodied.
Okay.
So you want to hear reviews from somebody that has disabilities.
Right.
So we're trying to match up those travelers so they can exchange reviews about places.
Okay, that's fair. Where do you want to see your website go in the next couple of years? What do you want to see it blossom into?
As big as it can be.
There you go.
I think it's hard when you're developing something new because there aren't any websites like this. So in my mind, I'm thinking not like a Facebook where people are on there all day, but more like a Wikipedia whenever hey, it's time for me to travel. Now let me go. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, look it up, see what's going on, not really scroll and see someone's best day and worst day, just get an honest opinion on what's going on out there.
Yeah.
That's what we want to go to.
Yeah, because on social media, basically what you're getting is everything that people like. Well, everything that people have clicked, they liked on, or they've commented on. It doesn't even matter whether those comments are good or bad. It's got engagement, so that's what they're showing you. But that doesn't really mean that location is good for you or that you'll enjoy yourself. Just everybody else is clicking on it.
That's true. So if someone wants to join, like, do you have to make a profile to get into your, I think I saw that when I clicked on your website. Your website is travelingsession.com. And
Yes.
okay, so if I was a new user, walk me through and the audience through whoever's going to listen to this and likes to travel. What do I need to do when I get onto your website to make a profile and use it to the best of my ability?
So the first thing I would do is once you create an account, go into your profile, and there's a section called Travel Review, and that's where they have the different rating. That's where you're going to get the settings for your personalized travel scores.
Okay. All
So
right.
once you set those, you're just going to rack and stack. There's the different rating criteria, and you're just going to rack and stack them by what's important to you.
Okay.
After that, I would go to travel styles, still under your travel profile. And that's where you're going to select up to 3 travel styles to basically give folks an idea of what kind of traveler you are.
Okay.
So you could be, let's say, a luxury foodie adventure traveler.
Okay.
And that way you can find other luxury foodie adventure travelers.
Okay. That's fair enough. Seems pretty user friendly then. Just get in there, create your profile, be honest. Hey, this is what I like to do. This is where these are my styles from whatever you have in the drop down, and then just go from there and start plugging and playing, right?
Yeah.
All right, too easy. You got to pay for an account or is it free?
Oh, it's all free.
Okay. All right, cool. I wrote it down. I'm gonna make one after this. What's one of your favorite places you've been to outside of the military? What sticks out?
Outside of the military, I'm going to say Miami.
Miami,
I know,
keeping that,
I
man.
know,
Let's go.
I promise you, I hadn't been to Miami in probably 30 years. I just recently went. In my mind, Miami was overrated. And so when I went, I was expecting it to feel overrated, but it's got a cool little vibe. And I don't know. I need to make more trips down there. That's basically all I'm saying.
Nah, man, Miami's good. They got good food. They got good, beaches are all right. Not as good as on the Gulf of Mexico. This Atlantic Ocean don't compare to the Gulf side, but that's a whole nother story. But now they got good food. They got a city scene, nice weather, sports. So yeah, it's not bad down there.
Cool little vibe.
What about international though? If you got to go, what sticks out to you internationally that you've been to on your own dime? Not Japan, not Thailand. What would you say? Anywhere?
Amsterdam or Jamaica.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What do you got?
Different reasons.
Both reasons.
Different reasons, but yeah, those are 2 that stick out in my head right now. Amsterdam and Jamaica.
All right. Fair enough. How was it having grown up kids in the military? Did you have to spend a lot of time with them when you're going through it?
Well, no, they so my son, he went to college. He was still in college when I retired. And then my older daughter, she went to school 2 years ago, and this is my youngest daughter's. She's just starting her 2nd year.
Okay. All right. So you had them around for the most part.
Yeah, they were hanging on there every PCS except for Korea. I think Korea was the only place I went by myself.
Okay, fair enough. What else are you working on besides your website? What do you see yourself doing in the future? You got anything else on the burner?
No, like I said, my full attention is on this website now.
What do you need? What are your pain points now that you have? Minus driving the traffic to it. What else could someone maybe out there listening to, or there's a lot of stuff out there for us veterans, man. You ever heard of like a veteran EBV, like Entrepreneurship Boot Camp for Veterans through Syracuse University? You ever heard of that?
Yes, I haven't tried it yet, but I have heard about it. Yeah.
Okay. What other things are your pain point minus the traffic and stuff like that? What do you see yourself?
Well, the biggest thing for me was I didn't really consider my marketing early on because in my mind, didn't think, well, I knew I wasn't going to spend money on marketing anytime soon. So I didn't really think about marketing. And that was a huge mistake. Whether you're planning on spending money or not, think about your marketing early so you can build it into the product. I think my website, to me, is not as intuitive as I want it to be because I didn't think about the marketing while I was developing it. So
Okay,
I
that's
think
fair enough.
it's more on me than anything else.
I mean, also it's kind of hard to. I mean, we're not made of millions, right? Or else it'd kind of be a little bit easier to shell out that money for marketing. But at the end of the day, if you're doing a platform and you're letting people get on there for free, which is great, it's fine. Share information and make someone travel better. But you're coming out of pocket for the development. You're coming out of pocket for someone else's time. You got to pay for marketing. It's probably like, you know what, I'm just going to try to do it myself and cut costs. But lesson learned. Like even for me doing a podcast, I'm not trying to make money on this. If the money comes through somewhere, some other channel or funnel, that's fine. But like, yeah, you got to either spend your time doing the marketing, but at the end of the day, it's either going to be manpower or man hours spent or money or both essentially, right? And you're never going to get that time back. So,
and like I said, that's why I don't code anymore on the site. Figure out what you suck at and delegate that immediately.
Absolutely, dude. I don't even know how that you would even try to do that because coding is like pretty much the whole nother language, dude. Whether you're doing like what Python, I don't even know. I know there's a whole bunch of it, and you got to sit in front of the computer,
Oh
and
man.
you ain't. Well, what was it? Why did you take on that endeavor just because you're like, I'm not paying someone to do this. I'm gonna learn how to do it, and just like military mindset, like I'm gonna learn how to do this and do it myself. Like, what was your thought process on that?
Well, because I've got some coding experience. I mean, I can do it. I can't do it at the speed and proficiency that I need it done at.
Okay.
And because I can't get it done the way I want to get it done, I start to obsess over it. And that's when I start spending days and days and days in front of my computer, not sleeping, not eating. Just get rid of the stress and hire somebody and let them do it.
I don't blame you, dude. How long did you go through that for before you said, you know what, I got to outsource for a while or?
Probably about a year. I think I did that probably about a year. And I was just like, no, I can't do this anymore.
You were at it, dude. That's a long time, man. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of maybe broken computers. I don't know, man. I probably would have threw my laptop or something. I don't know. I couldn't do it, dude. But no, that's good.
Yeah.
If you're a coder, man, military coder, and if you're not, you want to help a vet, man, hit up Tony, man. He probably still use you, dude. Let's go. He'll give you some travel tips. But nah, man, I just want to say I thank you for coming on here, sharing stories, being vulnerable, opening up, and hopefully you drop some golden nuggets for people, and they take heed to what you said about whether it's about the disability, whether it's about having a plan, whether it's about outsourcing things that you don't like and you're not, that you don't want to, that you don't see yourself doing. You're right. We all need help, dude. Whether it's with our claim, whether it's with our business. But I just want to say props to you also for never giving up. Even though you got the 70%, a lot of people could have said, you're good. You kept going because you knew that you were owed something more, and you stayed persistent and consistent while other people dropped the ball. And for anyone that did drop the ball, like me, and didn't get anything when you got out, or you only got something that you think you got more, don't give up on yourself because think about your family, think about your life that after the military, those benefits are there to stay. But I did want to ask you a couple more things because I just thought of something. What's one of the main VA benefits that you used? Not like the service of the VA, or like was it a home loan? Was it the school benefits? Was it stuff for your kids' college? What VA benefit or benefits stick out to you the most that you could touch on?
The school ones definitely. So I gave like each of my kids a full year of my GI Bill.
Okay.
But then, and it all depends on the state. Different states have different programs, but Florida, once you hit that 100%, they cover all their tuition. That definitely use that one. Home loan, definitely use that one, and make sure you got to look at all the different benefits that they have at the state level too. Like that property tax is a lovely one in Florida.
What? Who you telling, dude? 0%, zero property tax for your primary residence in Florida. So even if you don't have 100%, you could still get up to like 50,000. I think, like as long as you're service connected. I believe. Don't want to misspeak on that, but fact check. Do your own research. But yeah, dude, that's crazy because it's going to keep going up every year, dude. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's a good one, dude. I that slipped my mind. I know I got my homestead in, but no, that's a good one. What was your favorite meal in the military? Was it an Air Force chow hall? Was it MRE? What you missed the most about food in the military? Anything that sticks out?
I'm not going to say a specific place, but every place I was overseas, I always had one restaurant. I always have that one place where I just walk in, sit down. I don't have to order. I don't have to do nothing. They know exactly what I want.
So you became a regular, and they knew you as soon as you walked in and said, "Oh, damn, Tony's here. Get that going."
Yeah.
Get that going.
Like my spot in Germany, man, they knew as soon as I come in, they had a pizza with the Donna meat on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, we need someone to get them kebabs going, them donor sandwiches over here, dude. You open that by a military base, you on and popping, dude. You know they don't have that, or in the train station, or
but you gotta make them right though, because
you gotta make them right, absolutely, dude. Yeah,
I've had some bad ones. I've had some failed attempts.
Yeah, man, you gotta get that right, dude. But I imagine the food in Japan was kind of amazing. I've heard nothing but good things about the people, the culture, the food. So no, you got to live it up, man. Props to you for that. And I just wanted to see if you want to, close us out with anything. If you got a message for anyone or anything that we may have left off, but the floor's yours if you'd like to do so yourself.
No, just thank you for having me. Any veterans out there, like I said, my biggest thing is they owe you. You did your time. They hurt you. They need to pay you. Get your money.
And benefits and tax exempt and all the other things that come with it, because it's not only the disability. I mean, that's great. That could be life changing in itself. But dude, there's so much more. That student loan forgiveness, 100%. All this other stuff that's out there. Free park passes. Go to the MWR. Stay on base. Stay here. Stay there. Stay safe. Medical, Champ VA. All that's out there, dude. And that's all uncharted territory for people that don't know really what's out there for us. I didn't know none of that when I got out. It took me 5 years to get my disability from 0 to 100. So don't let anyone tell you it's impossible. Don't let someone tell you can't get a sleep study outside the military. Don't let any naysayer tell you that something's impossible to do, because it's really not. As long as you've got even if you don't even have anything in your medical records, but you have deployment orders, or you have character statements, or you have dates that match up, something still could be possible for you. You know what I mean? It's never too late, but yeah. Buddy letters. There you go. That's what I'm saying. So just don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your family. And hey, like I said, I appreciate you coming on here. We're in Florida. If next time down in Tampa or the surrounding area, we'll have to link up, maybe grab some food, chop it up in person. And I look forward to seeing what happens with your travel website. And if I can help you in any way, I'd be more than happy to, man. So let me know if I can do anything for you.
The big thing now is, like I said, because it's a new platform and I'm like, this is just all stuff that I created in my head. The biggest thing I need right now is feedback.
Okay.
Any feedback that anybody can. I want to make this into a platform that everybody can enjoy and use. So I just want to make it something that's more intuitive than I think that I've created so far.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully I'll send you the info on EBV. Maybe that can help, because it's like, they got different. IBMF is the Institute of Veterans Military Families through Syracuse, and they only have EBV. They got all these different events that you can get off to, and you maybe get in front of more veterans, and they can help you push the narrative on your website. But yeah, man, anything I can do to help, and just want to say, if you guys listen to this far, appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening in. If you're a veteran, just know, if you're a person and you're listening to this, just know that your voice matters, your story matters, and if you're a veteran or you're tied into the military community, I'd love to have you on to share your experiences, the up, down. Hopefully we can change the narrative of 22 suicides a day, the homelessness, the struggle of being a veteran, a wartime veteran, or Garrison, it doesn't really matter. You took the sacrifice, you raised your hand and took that oath, to serve and protect this country. So just thank you all for listening in. And Anthony, thank you for coming on, sharing your stories. And I look forward to seeing what happens for you next. I hope you all have a blessed night and take care. Thank you.